Quick note before today's episode. I am hosting a free workshop called Get Your Website Ready to Sell this fall on Tuesday, August 25th at noon Eastern Time. What happens is you'll log into the call with your website open in a tab, and we will use AI to check it live. And you will make real changes in real time, and I will be there to answer any questions that you have. And if you can't make it live, when you register anyways, you will still get the replay. The link is in the show notes. Now on to the episode. Every August, I feel like the same thing happens over and over. Us small business owners start planning our busiest quarter of the year. We have new campaigns, maybe new products we're rolling out, new services. Our content calendars are filling up. And even some people talk about running ads for the first time. Maybe you're doing Google ads, maybe you decided to do Facebook ads, whatever it is. There's a real energy shift that I feel starts to happen in the next few weeks. Summer starts to wind down, kids are going back to school, everyone comes back from vacation, and it feels like we're all looking towards Q. And a lot of us small business owners forget to check whether our website is actually ready to hold up to that traffic. And I totally get it. Checking your website is not the most fun part of fall planning. It's the new services, the new themes, the writing the content. It's just that's the exciting part. We all don't think about our websites as much, except for me, because that's all I think about is my website. And so I want to kind of talk about today what you can do right now, three things worth checking before you go into this busy season, whether you're going to spend money or effort getting more people to your website this fall. I want you to have some pieces in place. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B, web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. All right, we're talking fall because that's what's on my mind. And I want to talk about the jobs of marketing and your website. Marketing's job is to bring people to your website. And your website's job is to actually get people to do something once they are there. They are two separate jobs. And most quarter four planning, we are only thinking about the first one, the marketing, right? And I guess we can compare it to a store. If you had a physical location and you were going to have a big sale in that store, you're not going to just put an ad out in the newspaper or post it on Facebook and call it done. You're going to walk around your store, right? You're going to stock the shelves. You're going to make sure that everything is set up cute. The checkout line is in the right spot. There's a clear path when people get in that door so that we know where we want them to go. And the thing about it is if you compare this to your website, with websites, we skip this part constantly because this friction that I'm talking about, getting people to the right place, it's mostly invisible. No one actually sees this friction except for the person experiencing it. And most likely they leave instead of telling you what's wrong with your website. So you can run the best marketing campaign of your life, but if it sends people to your homepage that still has outdated information with last year's offer or unnecessary calls to action in it, you've just spent money sending people towards friction. And that money is going to work against itself. I believe that August is a great time to catch that before all of the fall campaigns launch. And even if you're not spending money, you're spending effort, right? You're getting out there, you're networking, you're talking to people, you're sending people to your website. That is something that you're investing in. You're investing your effort. And we want to make sure that your website is converting. So I have three things on your list to check for the fall season. So the first one is, do your calls to action match your current offers? And this one sounds so super obvious, but I see it constantly. Small businesses, we change our pricing, we change our packages, we change our focus throughout the year, every quarter even. And what we are promoting, or what we did promote last January, it's not always the same thing that we're looking to promote this fall. But the buttons, perhaps on the homepage or the links in the navigation or the calls to action throughout your website, these often don't get updated at the same pace that you update your business. And I've seen this play out in a lot of different ways. Example one could be if you raise your prices, but your sales page still has a testimonial that references the old number. Or maybe there's a comparison chart and it has an old number in there. Maybe you have a new service that you're offering, a premium tier, but the homepage button only links to an entry-level offer. Maybe you stopped offering something entirely, but there's still a whole page about that offer that no longer exists sitting on your website. It's ranking in search, and maybe it's confusing someone who lands on it. These aren't like crazy mistakes. They happen all the time. They're just these small gaps that build up over a year of running a business and not having time to circle back to your website all of the time. So take a few minutes and click through your website right now like a stranger would. Does every button on your website say something like book a call or get started? Does it lead somewhere that makes sense for what you are actually offering right now going into the fall? Look at your pricing. Do you have pricing mentioned anywhere on the site that matches what you would quote someone today? Or if you've changed your packages or pricing, who are you trying to attract since you did something with your website? Has that changed at all? This is the first place to look. And this is the fastest fix of the three I'm going to mention today. So the first one is, do your calls to action match your current offers? Fix number two, the booking flow, that it is super easy. Go back to that physical location. You've cleared the doorway and we have a path. I always think of, TJ Maxx, how they have all of the aisles when you're doing the checkout. They are guiding you through and they've got all these like cool things as you're going through the line to go to the checkout. People know where to go. They want to go that way. We want to drive them to take the action that we want them to take on your website. So walk through your site as a first-time visitor who just found you through an ad or through a referral or someone that you talked to from a networking meeting. How many steps does it take before they land on an actual scheduled call? I like it in 3 or less. But every extra click, every button that is unclear, every moment where someone has to stop and think, wait, what do I do here? Is a moment where you are going to lose people. And not because they're not interested, but because that path was not clear. It got harder and it made it harder for them to say yes. And this is the part that sometimes is easy to miss when you look at your own site because you know where everything is. So this feels simple. But a first-time visitor has none of that context and a lot of hesitation without realizing it. And it becomes easier for them to just close the tab instead of going through if they create any friction. I'm going to give a couple examples and then tell you what to do. So the first one is that a booking button, like say your goal is to have someone get to the contact page and book a consultation call with you. Your booking button might only be visible after you scroll through 3 sections of copy on your homepage. That's not what we want. We want that booking button front and center in the upper right-hand corner, and then we want a call to action on that hero section. And before you get 3 sections down your homepage. This also shows up in a contact form when someone actually gets to the contact form. Yay, it's like 2 clicks, we get there. You ask for like 10 fields of things of information before anyone can see your calendar and book a call. That's too much. People are not going to fill out all those fields. We're busy and there's too much friction before someone can even book a call or see your calendar. That's example number 2. Example number 3 is they get to that contact page, then maybe you have 4 questions. They fill out that form and then they click send and nothing happens. There's no confirmation page. There's no little note that says, I'll be back to you in 24 hours. It's very confusing. And when you put all of those that I've mentioned to you, it adds up to a path on your website that feels like work instead of something that feels like relief and that your visitor is going to get what they need. And I'm not talking about adding more things to your tech stack, like adding automations and more tools. It's more so about removing that friction. Sometimes the fix is as simple as moving your booking link higher on the page, putting that button in the upper right-hand corner, taking out a form field on the contact page that you really don't need before that first call. or making sure that you have something that shows up after someone sends that form that tells them what's going to happen next. These are all 3 ways to make your booking process a little bit quicker. And I think also I'm going to mention that the point of this is to look at your site as a first-time visitor. And sometimes, like I shared earlier, it's hard because we are so familiar with our businesses. We know all the ins and outs, and we're not a first-time visitor. Now, fix number 3 is the question, does the homepage reflect who you are right now? Not who you were a year ago, not who you were when you built your website, but who you are right now heading to this fall or whatever time you're listening to this podcast. Our businesses grow and we shift a lot more than sometimes we give ourselves credit for. Maybe you have started taking on a different client. Maybe you've gotten more confident about a specific problem you solve. Maybe you have a new problem that you're solving. Maybe you used to say yes to anyone who wanted to work with you, but now you know your ideal clients who you work best with. And this is something that happens as we grow throughout our businesses. We have real conversations, real projects, and things are updated on our business side, but we sometimes forget to go and update our homepage to match it. So read your homepage out loud as if you were describing your business to someone at a networking event that you're going to go to today. Does your homepage mention the clients that you want more of? Or does it still mention the ones that you used to work with but have kind of changed from working with? Are you talking about the business that you have right now or the one that you had when you built this website? Because if you haven't updated it, this is something that could be quietly working against all of your efforts this fall, your marketing efforts, whether it's paid advertisements or all of the time you're investing to meet people and to get people to your website. Because if you're doing all that marketing work, you're sending people to your website, but it's attracting those wrong fit clients, it's not working for you. And you're going to be spending more time and effort to bring in the exact traffic that your website was never truly built to convert. Now, I mentioned 3 fixes today, right? I did checking your calls to action, your booking flow that it's easy, and your homepage to reflect who you are. And in each example, I asked you to look at your website from an outside perspective because that is what is so important. Being able to look at your website like a visitor does, a first-time visitor to your website. And a great way to use AI is to use it for this, to have it look at your website with an outside perspective. But in order to use this effectively, I think you have to have the right prompts and the right background or information to share with AI so that it can give you some solid feedback. And that's why I created a workshop. It's called Stop Guessing, Audit Your Homepage with AI. And this is a workshop that I hosted 2 months ago, and the feedback was amazing. Everyone loved it and got so much from the prompts and what I shared with them during this workshop. And I turned it to an on-demand workshop. You can grab it on my website and in my shop. It's $27. And what it does is it gives you 6 ready-to-use prompts for AI that will work for each section of your homepage, plus a wrap-up prompt that turns everything that AI shared with you into a prioritized action plan so that when you are done with that workshop, you can walk away with everything that you should be updating on your website this fall to make it work better for you and in a way that you know what to do now and what you can do in a few weeks. So you're not, and like I said, I think that that is such a great use of AI. There are so many other things that I don't think it's good for, but for this, having an outside eye, I find it really helpful. So again, you can find that on my website under services and shop. Just to close this all off, I just want to share before you invest any time and money getting more people to your website this fall, it's worth that 20 minutes making sure that your website is actually ready for them, whether you do it yourself or you grab the prompts from my shop. Check your calls to action, walk through your booking flow, and just take an honest look at your homepage and make sure it still sounds like you right now and not the version of your business for a year ago. So I hope this was helpful. I'm really looking forward to the fall, and I will put a link to the workshop below if you want to grab that as well to help you with those prompts. All right, I'll talk to you later. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.